I think the ones us who are single, we may have the tendency to be too picky because at the end of the day, MCM men control marriage. So if we do want to be a wife, then we're going to have to settle for whatever that man is bringing. So at the end of the day, I think that we are too picky in some senses of things. And then the funny part about it is that the older we get, sometimes the more picky we get as well. Even though the options are slimmer and slimmer as we go along, that's the scary part. But when you're young,
'Cause I
you
think
can.
when you're older, you start seeing through it.
You guys are gonna wake up one day and it's gonna be AI robots walking around. It's gonna be Asian androids that dudes can in the mouth. I mean, it's coming down the pipeline. I'm not trolling. And so porn, and they already got something right now where you can like what is it, like Oculus or something, and it's like a VR. You can put that on, and you can buy certain things and stimulate your. I don't want to get too graphic, Shan, but technology might. Hey, man, it might be a lot of people not breathing any damn way because people could just be in the confines of their own home. I hate to be vulgar and upfront, but this is real. This is coming. You in 5-10 years, it'll be you'll see dudes at the bar with an AI
Hey,
girlfriend robot.
When men are not mating, those men tend to be the ones who, may shoot up a place, or they're not,
oh yeah, Jordan
Mm.
Peterson, right? The
do
incel argument.
things
Yeah,
that are a little destructive.
yeah, he said that.
And
He said
so that's where the problem comes in, because these men don't have anything else to look for. They don't have families, they don't have, and they kind of are mad at the world. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think the middle ground is? Like, because women are gonna like what they like. Like, is it one of those things where you feel like
well,
women should be like, oh,
so
I'll
remember, I
date
said
them?
I said dichotomy of purpose. That is represented in that. The women, so women have become very picky. And rightful, so women have always been picky. Y'all are the ones with the wombs. But you can't also be picky. Damn, this is gonna be such. Women today are picky assholes. It's weird. I'm sorry. Y'all have the least to offer a man, but yet being picky. You don't have a fresh womb to offer him. Most women don't,
Wait,
but yet they're the most picky.
I'm sorry, Trigger. You're a married man speaking about women this way.
Listen,
just
I
With
didn't know how
daughters.
else to say it. Harlot, you want me
But
to say
I
picky
get,
harlot?
I see what he's saying. What he's saying is you're not that value of the body count and all that kind of stuff. If your value has been decreased because of the norm, like the culture of how women are moving right now. So why should you be picky? But I think that what
I'm
he
talking
doesn't
about
understand,
the whole part. Like,
I know he
All
needs
right,
to use
we
better.
will
This is cheap
substitute hoe
critique. This is not.
for harlot. All right, listen, but
But I think that what people are understanding is the psyche of a woman.
mhm.
Men are logical. They're like, okay, if it makes sense, they'll be like, it'll come later. Women do not think that way. They just don't. It's got to be something that she is aiming for, whether you grasp her heart or her mind. You have to have something. They can't just be like, oh, I mean, some do, and that's when you get that woman who's like, oh, she just wanted to get married, and then she ends up divorcing them guy because all she wanted was the wedding. You don't want that. But I think that men don't understand, because we're so different, that there has to be a connection for the woman. How she gets that connection, whatever that quality was that gave her that connection has to be there for the most part for most women. And it's just not as easy as, oh, let me just grab this guy, get to know him, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
those feelings will.
Not only do I agree with that, I do believe it's partly the woman's fault. She's not establishing a connection. A big issue we have with women today is them being overloaded, and they want superficial things out of a man, not substantive qualities out of a man. That is basically it. This is why divorces are up. This is why women, like, if you said, bring me a good man that will take care of this kid, love me, go to work every day, and with the sense to provide for this family every single day of his life, I can get every single woman, well, that for with an available man married tomorrow. We'd be short about almost 1 million, but I can get all the women married. It is because they want this. They don't. They'll say they want the 666. His breath stink. I don't like the way his hair cut. He isn't in a frat. They started adding all of these requirements to what they want, and now it's hard for them to make a connection with a man because they have a superficial block. It's like an inhibitor chip. back there that says, well, I like him, but my friends are gonna joke me because it's not like my sister's husband. Like that is what I think is a part of the huge problem here. What do y'all think?
Can we not add in hygiene? I mean, I think that should be a basic requirement. You talking about their breath stink, they're not brushing their
You
teeth.
know what? Maybe I went too far with the breath stink, but you
You
know where I
did.
was going.
A little bit.
I was wondering where that was going.
It's like hygiene, basic hygiene.
Like,
should
damn,
You know
you
what?
want
No,
you to
no,
take
I'm
anybody.
not taking it back. I'm not taking it back. Here's why.
basic
Here's why.
hygiene.
If you don't like the way he dressed, take his credit card, go buy him something. If his breath stink, buy a toothbrush.
No,
So
no.
yeah, nice try.
Basic
Listen,
necessity.
all right, y'all can do a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all can do a lot for me.
All right, so to go back to your initial question, I think that it can absolutely become extremely dangerous in the future, where let's just say only 60% of the men never get a woman and remain virgins. That's not a society most people want to live in. I'm gonna keep it real. When men have no incentive to do the right thing, no incentive to stay out of jail, no incentive to go to work, and no aspirations or potential to start a family, things can get real dangerous. Because at that, I've heard people say before, if I didn't have women, I wouldn't get dressed, I wouldn't do XYZ. So what's to stop them from getting mad at any moment and flipping the switch? Like when people make the polygamy argument, for the bulk of men, it's impossible because they don't fit that criteria. And if we did move forward with it, it would be a dangerous society for these men, like extremely dangerous for everybody else and your family. Even though you might be able to sustain and keep anybody in your immediate vicinity safe, if they leave and wander off from outside of you at any time, it's gonna get ugly. So yeah, I think that's a real thing, and the FBI I think started tracking it recently. ACL, like I don't know if a lot of men are familiar with this, but I've seen that the ACL was making reference to the whole space and saying that they was monitoring some of this stuff. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything about this?
I have.
You have, Cal?
I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's actually dangerous. I think like as the standards raise, I know this might be a crazy perspective, but just for the safety, they probably need to legalize prostitution or something, because these men have to have an outlet. They have to have an outlet.
That is really sad, and they are very dangerous. But I wanted to pass it to Chelsea, see if she wanted to come on in here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just thinking when it comes to the whole topic, are women too picky? I think us who are single, we may have the tendency to be too picky because at the end of the day, MCM, men control marriage. So if we do want to be a wife, then we're going to have to settle for whatever that man is bringing. So at the end of the day, I think that we are too picky in some senses of things. And then the funny part about it is that the older we get, sometimes the more picky we get as well. Even though the options are slimmer and slimmer as we go along. That's the scary part. But when you're young,
I think when you're older, you start seeing through the bullshit. You can see it a little bit faster than you saw when you were younger. Because you like, I smell some bullshit.
And the thing about it, we were picky with the wrong one. We were picky with the wrong ones. We should have been picky with the ones we messed up over us and all of that over those years.
Oh, for sure.
See, we let them slide by, slide in and slide out.
That's experience, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
so the thing
now,
is, don't let that experience linger too long, and then eventually we get to this point where we're at a certain age and the options are so slim, and then we want this high value man, whatever that may be.
I think a lot of young girls weren't taught to vet out what type of man to look for, because dads don't want to have those awkward conversations about boys, dating, sex. Love. All y'all do is say, don't mess with them little knucklehead boys, and y'all you don't need a boyfriend, just focus on school. Like, I'm not talking about you, Trigger Mike. I'm just saying a lot of dads, I felt to a lot of girls, even my dad has been guilty of that. They don't really teach us the game, and like, so we can recognize what game really is. They just say, oh, these boys gonna lie to you, and it's just like, but the lie sounds like the truth sometimes.
Right.
So
we don't know better. You're right.
We don't know better. We don't know what we don't know.
So I will admit that that's a part of the problem, but the modern age problem is not that dads won't give the game. One, and of course in this community it's the lack of dads to begin with, but it's also because women won't submit themselves to that game at all. Women will not submit to the fact that their father has to choose their mate. They won't. What percentage of women
I would
you
have
know?
loved that my dad. Well,
what woman you know would be like, I want my father to choose my husband? How many women you know would say that?
At 18 in this day and age, B-Taylor? If you was to,
if my dad genuinely, like, when I dated a guy and I brought him to my dad was like, nope, he better be treating you like a princess because he is not up to your standard. So that just let me know my dad's will want to choose somebody that he felt like qualified for me. So my dad personally, yes.
But
My dad
sometimes
said
we
no
want to get
take
out in that
backs.
field and play. Go ahead, Coach K.
No, I was just gonna say my dad said no take backs, so that's where we're at.
You belong to your husband now.
I'm
I
not
like
daddy's
that
little
though. I
princess,
like
that's
that.
for sure.
Think of how a girl is thinking when you say this. Just one shot. You got one shot. What you gonna do? That's very sobering. That's very sobering.
Can you drop a poll in the chat? I'm curious as to how many women would at 18 let their father pick their spouse for them.
No, you about to ask women? They're gonna lie. Come on.
They're gonna tell a bold-faced lie, bro.
So no, my dad. First of all, wait, hold on. My dad is actually a very nice-looking man. When he used to come to my field trips, all the teachers wanted to be around my dad. My dad's 6'4". He's always been very healthy, athletic. So I know he would have chose somebody that was like, I already know my dad would have had me.
Thing is this though, man. Like it's a lot of women, right? And we got to put this on the table. It's a lot of women who dad gives them the game. A lot of women who brothers give them the game, cousins give them the game, and they still go out there and go the complete opposite way of what the man advised her to do. So that's why I don't believe if the dad said, okay, he's solid. She might be like, okay, Pops, I respect you, but he don't give me that feeling that that John do over there or whatever do over there. You see what I'm saying? So when she leave him, she gonna go right back and mess with John some more. Or is the kicker, she ain't gonna even bring John around her pops. Her pops ain't gonna never know that she messing with him.
That's it.
I was in college. I know how it worked. It's literally with Nigerian women up there that told me straight up. She said, my daddy would never approve of you, ever. And that's why I can never take you. You are a great guy. You're a stand-up guy, intelligent, handsome, all of that. But I could never bring you home. My daddy would never approve you. But she was still trying to mess with me anyway. So that's what I'm saying. It's just...
But I'm gonna have to push back on that because I did grow up in a very sheltered home, and sometimes your parents are so sheltered and sheltering you. It don't matter what that man looks like. You know your parents are not gonna approve of this man. They're like, oh, he got an earring, oh, he got a tattoo, he got this. They don't even want to see past that. They don't even want to get to know the man just based off of his appearance. So those girls, especially those Nigerian homes, their parents are super strict. And if he's not Nigerian, don't even think about it. So it's a lot of them are very, very strict. They're not going to even, they know like you're not going to qualify. It don't matter who you are. They're going to go off of appearance, background, religion, all of that stuff.
Well, maybe the dad knew something, and maybe you should leave him alone. Like that's exactly what Trill just said. Pop gave you the game. Like, well, he ain't gonna approve this guy. Let the guy go.
You're not listening. I just said some parents are too sheltering, where they don't even get to know the man enough to know. Like, you can give me all the game, but if you're saying no to every man, then who do I date? So we're not even gonna
nobody. Find somebody else.
Well, Taylor, what percentage of dads do you think get that wrong? Like where he could have been a good guy, but you didn't give him a chance? Because I don't think it's very many. If they can sniff it from the door, that's all of their experience. You know what I like when people do is when they combine people's years of experience to tell you how much experience people have. So if you got two 35-year-old parents and you 15 and they're like, and you have 70 years worth of experience telling you, no, that they're probably not wrong very often. I'm just saying.
And again, especially with men, because fact is that regardless of how great of a judge of character women think they are, y'all have implicit bias with the man that y'all dating. Y'all actually like him, right? Like he actually wooed y'all. Like his charisma, all of these things make you feel away when he's coming around. So much so that a lot of women are willing to look past the fact that he ain't really got a car right now, or look past the fact that he only working part-time at the mall, but he say he trying to get in school. He trying to do this. He trying to do that. Like y'all get the leaning toward what you feel like his potential should be. But when you bring him around that man gonna be able to look at him and in 2 minutes of conversation from the handshake say, this is not a grown man right here. He not ready. But again, you don't want to hear that because you like him and he makes you feel away, and the way he, kiss you on your neck and the way that the sex is, and just the swagger and the charisma he got, Pops, you don't understand. So again, she may take the advice when she around you. You know what, Pops, you right, man. He is a great guy, and she'll go right back to that college campus and go mess with the dude who she know you would not approve of. But going back to Trigger Mike's point, a man is hardly ever wrong about a man. And that's why I tell women, make sure you run that man by somebody who love you. whether it's your pops, your brother, your friend, your cousin, whatever. Make sure you run him by a man, because a man knows a man when we see one, and we also know a nigga that's just pretending. Pardon my French.
The problem is because most of us women are digmatized sometimes, and we don't see past.
Sometimes,
it's just because it looks good doesn't mean it's good for us at the end of the day. And we be asking questions: what's your favorite color? All these basic questions instead of asking like, what's going to be the foundation of our relationship, of our marriage, anything like that. That's the problem. I don't understand what it is. As soon as we see something that looks good, if we're not used to it, then that's when we have all these problems. And go ahead,
Chelsea. I don't know why nobody's telling you this. Can you turn your mic up just a little bit? Yeah.
I thought it was all the way up.
I don't know why nobody didn't say nothing. I could barely hear you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
Oh yeah, no.
I heard you just fine.
I'm all the way up. Yeah, I'm all the way up on my end.
Well, I didn't hear the AP.
Yeah,
I said that us women are digmatized. I hope you heard.
I just turned you up.
Okay.
I just turned you up back here. Yeah. You get
Thank you.
But yeah, even like the traits that you may feel like your pops is just doing a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Why his pants down? Why you got 2 earrings in when he coming over here? All those things matter, right? Because it says a lot about that man that I'm gonna come to your pops, who I know is influential in your life, who I know is real hands-on, and who I know that you love very much. Like, I'm supposed to be buttoned up the same way that I would go into a job interview. If we're gonna be real. Yep. Maybe not the suit and the tie, but again, it's gonna be respectful dress. I ain't going in the damn job interview with my chain and my grill in and my earrings and my pants sagging and shit like that. No, that don't make sense. This is a person of authority. This is a person that's gonna be very influential in my future. So I'm gonna approach him that way. But if that man decides not to do that, that speaks volumes that he would make that decision. So that's more so what your pop's pointing out. You think he tripping on the earrings? No. He tripping on the mindset and the audacity that this young nigga got to come to my house.
It's
to try to move my daughter dressed like that.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. I was the favorite. I mean, I was beloved by every single girlfriend I ever had. I was the beloved boyfriend, to the point where mamas was calling me, telling me congratulations on your engagement. But if it happens to fall through, you know, my daughter's still single. 2 of them did that, right? Like my dad prepped me like I was going on a job interview, just like he said. You are going to meet our father. Hey, you take presents, you talk to him, you look him in the eye, you shake his hand, like you speak. You don't go off from conversation with him. You give him permission to peruse around his house. Dog, this dude was literally like, is this dude? He had to come tell me later, I thought you was almost doing too much. I thought you were too good to be true. That is how men listen. If a man loves a woman, think about what he knows he has to do, because not only to win your approval, but to win the family's approval. That's the world over. Men instinctually know you got to do that for a woman, just like animals know you got to fight another man for that woman, right? So if a man's not doing that, like dad already know, he didn't look me in the eye. First off, these dudes got their hand in their pocket, they in their phone. Oh, what's up, G? Oh no, get him the hell out of my house. He's not a serious man. You damn sure not serious enough for my daughter at whatever stage she's at in life, because I raised her better than that. So y'all not a good match. Father's not wrong. I'm not even saying they not wrong about that. They not.
You know, something that I think that they noticed too that we don't at the time is they can see like the long-term progression when we're just focused on the small picture. Because honestly, whenever even my sisters, but when my dad didn't like someone, God, I'm cringing just thinking about some of the people I dated, but he was freaking right. And something he also told me since I, was, I guess maybe freshman high school was, guys will do anything to get in your pants. And he was freaking right with that too. But yeah, I think dads can see long-term when we're, just infatuated and love him so much because we're not thinking long-term. And I think a lot of girls mess that up.
So I love what you said, Coach K. And I wanted to add another layer to that. Not only to what Trill said, do men know men? But think about the vantage point your father has of you, of who you are on an everyday basis, right? As women, just like men, we put our best foot forward in the early parts of a relationship. But your father knows what you were really like behind closed doors. Once you give up the facade, once you give up the representative, who you're going to be. So his vantage point in vetting out that man is significantly different than yours because one, he knows men, and two, his understanding of you is way more thorough than that man has of you.
Just to say this for dads, he's already pissed when he meet him because he knows if you making excuses for a man that both of y'all know is subpar, then he's just giving you the D already. He has to like already take that defeat. Like, damn, this dude that flipped my daughter. This dude out here flipping my daughter over in the bed and got her head messed up. He already know. He already know. He don't want to shake that dude's hand. Where your hands been? Ugh. I diapered those drawers. Yeah. Ugh.
Y'all are, I can't do this with y'all today. Did anybody else want to add on to, because I know this conversation started out with technology and then it ended up being talking about dads. Did anybody else want to?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Are you done in the chat now?
Well, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. So speaking of technology, ladies, I'm not trying to troll, but AI is, technology is exponentially advancing. You guys are gonna wake up one day and it's gonna be AI robots walking around. It's gonna be Asian androids that dudes can in the mouth. I mean, it's just it's coming down the pipeline. I'm not trolling. And so, porn, and they already got something right now where you can what is it, like Oculus or something, and it's like a VR. You can put that on, and you can buy certain things and stimulate your. I don't want to get too graphic, Shan, but technology might. Hey, man, it might be a lot of people not breathing any damn way because people could just be in the confines of their own home. I hate to be vulgar and up front, but this is real. This is coming. In 5-10 years, it'll be you'll see dudes at the bar with an AI girlfriend robot.